Okay, so today I'm gonna show everyone how to make a patch, like a paint one with a stencil. So these are a couple of ones I made. I made a taxpayers one. I made this Green Day one, and then I made this. It's from Disco Elysium. I made this one. So all you're gonna need is a pair of scissors, some packing or masking tape, any kind of clear tape like this that's durable and that you can see through. You're going to want an X-Acto knife or like a hobby craft knife and the blades for that. And you're going to want a brush and whatever paint you'd like. So I will see y'all soon. The first thing, I don't know why I said that because I still have things to say. First thing you're gonna do, you're gonna take pencil and paper and you're gonna sketch out the design that you want of your patch. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that and I'll be back with y'all in 1 second. So I just went ahead and I went with this like little star pattern. And so what you're gonna do is you're gonna cover both sides of the paper in this masking tape. So I'll see y'all in, I hit myself with that. I'll see you guys in 1 more minute. So obviously now that you've covered both sides in this packing tape, you're kind of gonna want to trim off the excess just for like, you don't have to, but it makes it a little bit nicer. So I also trimmed mine down, and because I did that, I kind of just reinforced the sides with another piece of tape just to like make sure that everything was okay. So what you're gonna do now is you're going to put this down on like kind of a hard surface. So I have a cardboard side and I have a plastic side. I don't really care about either side. I've been using the plastic. And you're going to take your X-Acto knife and you're going to start by cutting out like the little design that you have. So I have mine all cut out. Sometimes you're going to have this happen where kind of like a little part gets kind of torn up like right here. I don't know if you can really see that, but part of this got torn. And so to fix that, like you can see right here, and to fix that, you're kind of just gonna take a little piece of masking tape. You're gonna tear it up so that it's small enough to like fit on that part, and you're just going to tape it so that, you know, that piece gets covered up. You can kind of see there, not really at all, but I taped over it, just kind of to reinforce that, you know, piece of the stencil. After that, you're going to get your piece of fabric that you're going to make the stencil onto. So I have this little piece of denim fabric, and I actually want there to be like a little galaxy behind it, like a kind of spacey theme. So I'm gonna go ahead and paint like on the fabric, which you don't have to do, but for some people, like they want to do that because they think it would look better than just kind of putting a stencil on it. So you can do that. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So you can see here, I have my 3 blues and then the yellow that I'm going to be doing my stencil in. And then I'm going to paint my stencil and I'll be back. I'm not apologizing for the jank angles. You're not here for like insanely good production value, but what you are here for is this little setup. So I have my fabric kind of pinned down to a cardboard box. You can tell it's been used before multiple times. And these are just regular fabric pins. It's not super secure, but it's going to keep the fabric from like moving around too much while I'm painting. I like to have mine kind of at about half height because if you push it all the way down, you're going to get a ton of paint on it like you see there. But I think half height is like a good compromise, still being sturdy, but not, you know, like loose enough to completely get out there. So for this like multi-color background, I kind of just got things, you know, a little just squirted on there. It's gonna get mixed around because it's a galaxy, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, so you can kind of see my little like galaxy swirly on there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to let this dry, and then I'm going to go in with my stencil. If you don't have, like if you're not doing a background, you can kind of just skip over what I'm doing. This is just extra stuff for me. All right, so my patch is pretty much dried now. I'm going to get my stencil and I'm going to put this on there. I like to put 2 fabric pens in it to help stabilize it. And then I'm going to take this brush, and it's flat on the bottom. Usually you're going to use like a round one, but I don't have one of those. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your paint, and you're going to, my thing is so messy, please forgive me. You're going to squeeze your paint onto there. You probably won't need that much since it's just a stencil. But you're going to take the end of your round brush and you're going to dab it on there. And then you're going to dab that onto the patch. It's important that the stencil stays on there like it needs to, so that the like the paint doesn't spread past the stencil. So the stencil should be relatively tight to the fabric. And then when you're dabbing it on there, I think I'm using like the corner of this. You're just gonna dab it and you're gonna make sure, I'm trying to get that little spots right there. And then you're gonna dab it until you're satisfied with the way that it looks. I'm just gonna do a little bit more, and then you're gonna take the pens out. You're gonna set your brush down. I have some water. I'm gonna set mine in the water. It's on the other side. You're gonna take the pens out, and then you're gonna take this stencil off. And here's your little patch, and it is so adorable and cute. And if you don't entirely love the way that some of the edges came out, you can take a fine-tipped brush and you can kind of edit them a little bit. So I know I'm doing that right now. Sometimes you're gonna lose a lot of the, I'm probably gonna do like a second layer on this one. Sometimes you can lose a lot of the definition, especially if your paint, like this yellow on top of the blue, definitely needs another layer. But also, these stencils are not going to be like the sturdiest thing ever. So you're gonna have to, I guarantee you, you'll have to do a little bit of editing. I'm gonna use some blue to kind of cover that up. So let me rinse my brush off real quickly. I'm just gonna take some blue, and I'm just gonna put that on there and try not to make green, actually. So I will touch up these stars and then get back to y'all. So here's my finished patch. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the pens from it. I repainted on the stars a little bit, and you can kind of see, I added a little in the background. We're crooked, but it's okay. Zooming out for a second. Here's my patch. It's kind of curling. If you keep the pins down when you're drawing it, it won't curl up. But, so, obviously my patch does not have machine cut edges, and it's not like the most perfect one in the world. I don't want it to be. Some people might think that, well, I mean, it doesn't look like a really gifted artist made it, so my patches, won't be good. The thing is, like, the patches you make, like, I'll bring up my taxpayers one, for example. Like, this obviously has so many imperfections that I could point out to you, but the point about making patches and doing things yourself is that, yes, they're not going to come out like if you had just bought a patch off Amazon or something, but you don't want to. You don't want to, because these are supposed to be, like, reflective and indicative of who you are and things that you like and things you enjoy. And I like my patch. It might not look like the most amazingly done patch in the world, but I really like it. I like the stars, I like the galaxy, I like the patches I make. And liking what you made, loving what you made is so much more important than, any machine-made patch in the world. The entire goal of this is to make something that you like. So don't be afraid if your patches don't come out like the most beautiful thing ever. Don't be afraid if you think they're kind of ugly. Don't be afraid about any of that stuff. The important part is to make things that you enjoy. So with that, go out into the world, make a patch or several, share them online. Literally, like, just have fun. You're making something for you to enjoy. You're not making it to sell, or I mean you could, but like, you should be making these to enjoy and to put on like a bag or your battle jacket or something like that, whatever you want to put it on. But just make something that you enjoy. Make something that makes you happy. There's no point in making something if you're not making it to make you happy. Once you start making stuff you think other people want you to make, it's not fun anymore. I made these patches because I like them, and I want to put them on my jacket or my bag. I didn't make these because I want 10 million views on YouTube. I really don't. I like making things I enjoy, and I would be scared if a lot of people were watching me very suddenly. So just make things that you enjoy because you enjoy making them, especially patches. There's like no scenario in which making a patch would ever go wrong for you, except you maybe like accidentally stab yourself. So remember your knife safety and make something that you enjoy.